we think we know the story of our past. A story of slow, steady progress, from primitive beginnings to the world we live in now. But what if that story is wrong? What if, scattered across the vast African continent, there are clues to a past that is far more advanced, far more mysterious, and far more terrifying than we've ever been told? From a new human species that defies our understanding of evolution, to ancient technologies that shouldn't exist, these are the discoveries that have terrified the world. Join us as we count down the 10 most terrifying discoveries in Africa that challenge everything we thought we knew. Before we begin our descent into the unknown, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss what's coming. Number 1, Homo naledi and the Cave of Bones. And now, for our number 1 most terrifying discovery in Africa, a find so profound it strikes at the very heart of what it means to be human. This is the story of Homo naledi. In 2013, deep within the Rising Star cave system in South Africa, explorers squeezed through a passage so narrow, in some places less than 8 inches wide, that only the slimmest among them could pass. In a chamber deep underground, the floor was littered with bones. Over 1,500 fossils were recovered, representing at least 15 individuals of a previously unknown species of ancient hominin. They were named Homo naledi. Homo naledi is a bizarre mosaic of traits. It had a small brain, about 1/3 the size of ours, and primitive ape-like shoulders. Yet its hands and feet were strikingly modern. This creature, which lived between 236,000 and 335,000 years ago, was not a direct ancestor, but a strange cousin who walked the earth at the same time as the first Homo sapiens. But the strangest part was where they were found. The bones were located in a chamber with only one treacherous entrance. There were no predator marks and no evidence the bodies had been washed in by a flood. This led paleoanthropologist Lee Berger and his team to a staggering, terrifying conclusion. Homo naledi was deliberately placing its dead in this remote, dark chamber. This claim has ignited one of the fiercest debates in modern science. If true, it means a small-brained, non-human species was engaging in complex ritualistic behavior related to death. They were performing burials. This is something once considered a hallmark of our own species. Since the initial discovery, Berger's team has published new papers arguing that they have ruled out natural processes, but many scientists remain unconvinced, and as of 2025, the debate rages on. And that is the ultimate terror of Homo naledi. This discovery confronts us with the possibility that we are not that special. The very things we thought defined us, our rituals, our treatment of the dead, our capacity for symbolic thought, may not be ours alone. The dawn of consciousness and grief may have begun long before us, in the small brain of a creature that was both like us and yet utterly alien. Homo naledi blurs the line we have so carefully drawn between human and animal. It suggests that the journey to personhood was not a straight line, but a branching, twisted path with other minds contemplating the darkness long before we ever did. This discovery is terrifying because it doesn't just add a new branch to our family tree. It forces us to question the very definition of the trunk. Number 2, Madagascar's geological and archaeological oddities. For our number 2 spot, we travel to an island that is a world unto itself, Madagascar. Famous for its unique wildlife, the island's human history and geology are just as strange. It's a place filled with puzzles and whispers of forgotten histories. The true mystery of Madagascar isn't any single claim, but the collection of oddities and the gaping holes in its archaeological record. For example, fringe reports and local stories speak of the ruins of Kadai, an alleged ancient stone city on the coast whose origins are completely unknown. Other unsubstantiated claims even mention the discovery of elongated skulls, similar to those controversially found in places like Peru. To be absolutely clear, these claims of lost cities like Kadai and unusual skulls lack credible, mainstream archaeological documentation and are considered fringe theories or myths. But their existence points to a deeper, more terrifying truth. The terror of Madagascar isn't found in any single unsubstantiated claim, but in the profound void of knowledge that allows such stories to flourish. We know shockingly little about the island's earliest human inhabitants. When did they arrive? From where? What cultures did they build before the island's more recent history began? Madagascar is a giant question mark floating in the Indian Ocean. It's a land of biological and geological anomalies where the human story is full of missing pages. These fringe legends, even if factually untrue, are born from a very real and unsettling ambiguity in the historical record. The island's true terror is its silence. It's the feeling that we are looking at a place with a deep history that has been almost entirely erased, leaving behind only strange whispers and geological puzzles. Number 3. The 20,000-year-old social network. Number 3 on our list takes us to a remote cliffside cave on South Africa's southern coast, a place that is rewriting the very first chapters of human society. In the KEH-1 cave, archaeologists have unearthed sophisticated stone tools dating back nearly 20,000 years. This was during the last glacial maximum, one of the harshest climatic periods in human history. The tools themselves are remarkable examples of craftsmanship. Known as the Robberg Techno-Complex, they consist of tiny, sharp stone blades called bladelets. These were made with a precise method of flaking stone cores, indicating a high degree of skill and a standardized manufacturing process. Archaeologists believe these small blades were likely used as points for composite weapons, perhaps attached to spears or arrows for hunting. But it's not the tools themselves that are so terrifying. It's what they represent. When researchers compared these tools with others found across southern Africa, they found stunning similarities. The same distinct manufacturing methods were being used in locations hundreds of miles apart. This discovery shatters the traditional image of Ice Age humans as small, isolated bands of hunter-gatherers cut off from one another. Instead, what has emerged is a picture of a vast, interconnected social network. The shared knowledge of how to create these specific tools shows that these ancient groups were not isolated. They were communicating, exchanging ideas, and maintaining cultural practices over enormous distances, all during one of the most hostile periods on Earth. They had a shared culture. They were a society. The terrifying implication here is one of profound underestimation. We have long viewed our deep ancestors as primitive, their lives defined by a brutal struggle for existence. This discovery reveals a level of social complexity and cultural resilience that is utterly astonishing. 20,000 years ago, during the depths of the Ice Age, people in southern Africa were building and maintaining social networks, sharing technology and culture in a way we are only just beginning to comprehend. The terror is in the realization of how much more advanced, more organized, and more like us they truly were. CTA. We're about to enter our top 5, where the discoveries get even more unsettling and challenge the very foundations of what we believe about the human story. If you're finding this journey into Africa's hidden past as fascinating as we are, take a moment to hit that like button. It really helps the channel, and it lets us know you want more content just like this. Number 4. The Hidden Voids of the Great Pyramid. At number 4, we turn to the most iconic monument on the continent, the Great Pyramid of Giza. For 4,500 years, it has stood as a symbol of ancient genius. We thought we knew it inside and out. Then a project launched in 2015 proved how wrong we were. The project, called Scan Pyramids, used non-invasive technologies, including cosmic ray muon radiography, to peer deep inside the pyramid's structure. The results were earth-shattering. In 2017, the team announced the discovery of a massive, previously unknown cavity, a secret space sitting right above the famous Grand Gallery. Dubbed the Scan Pyramid's Big Void, this structure is at least 100 feet long, with a volume comparable to the Grand Gallery itself. Its purpose is completely unknown. More recently, the project identified another hidden feature, a sealed corridor, about 30 feet long, located just behind the main entrance. This passage is completely inaccessible from the outside. The mainstream view is that these voids are likely construction features, perhaps a stress-relieving chamber to protect the Grand Gallery from the immense weight above it. But this is where the terrifying speculation begins. What if they aren't just for structural support? The sheer size of the big void has led many to wonder if it's a hidden chamber. Maybe the true undiscovered burial place of Khufu, his treasures lying untouched for millennia. And the corridor? Where does it lead? Why was it sealed? Does it point to even deeper secrets? The terror of this discovery is a profound intellectual one. It's the shocking realization that the most famous ancient structure on the planet still holds secrets on a monumental scale. For centuries, we've climbed it, mapped it, and written thousands of books about it, all while completely oblivious to a 100-foot-long void hidden in its heart. It's a terrifying blow to our modern arrogance, a stark reminder that we are still just scratching the surface of the ancient world. If the Great Pyramid can hide something so enormous, what other impossible secrets are still out there? Number 5. Living Rituals, the Sand Trance Dance and Hamar Bull Jumping. Our fifth discovery isn't a ruin or an artifact buried in the sand. It's something far more immediate and in many ways more terrifying, a living echo of our most ancient past. We are talking about the sacred rituals of tribes like the San of southern Africa and the Hamar of Ethiopia. First, let's travel to the Kalahari, home of the San people, descendants of some of the oldest surviving human lineages on Earth. At the heart of their spiritual life is the trance dance, a healing ritual practiced for thousands of years. As women sit around a fire, clapping and singing medicine songs, the healers dance rhythmically for hours. Through hyperventilation and intense movement, they enter an altered state of consciousness, a trance. In this state, they believe they can connect with the spirit world to fight off evils. They speak of drawing out sickness from the community, laying hands on the sick and pulling the illness out of their body before expelling it with a scream. It's a powerful, raw, and deeply spiritual practice that connects them to their ancestors and the cosmos itself. Further north, in Ethiopia's Homo Valley, the Hamar tribe performs a brutal and essential rite of passage, the bull jumping ceremony. To become a man, a young initiate must run across the backs of a line of 7 to 10 castrated bulls, naked and without falling, 4 times. The bulls' backs are often smeared with dung to make them slippery. Success means he can marry and own cattle. Failure brings shame and another year of waiting. The terror here isn't that these rituals are scary. The terror is in the profound realization that these are not historical reenactments. These are active worldviews from our deep past, still being lived today. They are a window into a time when the spirit world was not a metaphor but a tangible reality, when manhood was earned through a physical trial of life or death courage. These living traditions are terrifying because they hold up a mirror to the modern world and show us how much we've forgotten, how sanitized our existence has become, and how thin the veil is between our reality and a much older, more primal human experience. Conclusion. From the ghostly legend of a city swallowed by sand, to the silent stone circles guarding forgotten rituals, to the breathtaking possibility that we were not the first to bury our dead, the African continent continues to reveal a past that is far stranger and more unsettling than we ever imagined. These discoveries are more than just historical curiosities. They are fundamental challenges to our place in the world. They prove that Africa is not just the cradle of humanity. It is a continent of secrets, a place where the past is not dead but waiting in dark caves and whispering on desert winds. The story we tell about ourselves is incomplete, and its most terrifying chapters are only now being unearthed. What do you think is the most terrifying discovery on this list? And what other African mysteries do you think the world needs to know about? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more journeys into the unknown.